Welcome back. One of America's top politicians, the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, Paul Ryan, has announced that he's not running for re-election this November. He is one of a wave of Republican members of the House to say they're retiring in the upcoming midterm elections. Well, we can talk now to senior Republican strategist Ron Bonjean, who's in our Washington studio. Ron, thanks so much for being with us on GMT. Why do you think he's going?
Well, Speaker Ryan's going because he said it's largely because of his family. He's a father of 2 young children, and he didn't want to run for another term and wanted to give someone a chance to run for his House seat in Janesville, Wisconsin. Of course, this is very disappointing to Republicans who have counted on Paul Ryan, and he is loved by his conference and Republicans at large. He has worked with the president and has been an integral part of our party, and we're going to miss him greatly.
Now, Ron, I know you are, I think, still the only person who's served as lead spokesman for both the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate for Republicans there. So tell us what you think was going on in the minds of Paul Ryan and his staff as they thought about when to make this announcement.
Well, clearly there's never a good time to make an announcement like this. They just decided, I think, to do it, and to do it as quickly as possible once he made the decision. Of course, they put together a very good plan. They executed it. But now it's up to House Republicans to determine who their next leader is going to be. And Republicans don't like to wait. They like certainty because they want to plan. The November elections are coming up fast, and they want to keep the momentum of fundraising and of having a successful leadership move forward. So I think a couple scenarios may happen. Either one of them means that basically they're going to want to know who the speaker is going to be. So there may be a leadership election coming up very shortly that would determine that would have Speaker Ryan vacate the House, vacate his position. And then there's a second option. They may just want to know who the next speaker is going to be, and determine that person and make sure that person is then put up for election after the November results. So in either scenario, they want certainty here.
And of course, behind all this is the fact that they want to retain the House, and Democrats are feeling more and more optimistic about their chances of wrestling it away in November.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, and that's why Republicans will want to have a leader in place, either actually in the chair or waiting on the sidelines, but they want to communicate to voters and to donors that they have a plan, that they're moving forward. I mean, the minute that a speaker actually says he's leaving, a lame duck, and it makes him much harder to lead the conference, to urge members to take tough votes, to actually get donors to fundraise. That makes it much more difficult for House Republicans to maintain the majority, and I think a number of Republicans are going to attempt to force a conclusion, and that's already starting to happen. The announcement really just occurred yesterday, but you know, House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy is moving very quickly to try to round up the votes. If he can't do it, House Majority Whip Steve Scalise has said that he would like to step in and give it a shot. So we do have very qualified leaders to take over for Paul Ryan. The question is now a matter of time. It's not if, but when this is going to happen.
Ron, I just have to ask you about how President Trump factors into all of this, because talk about unpredictability. We're thinking about Syria. We're also still thinking about North Korea. I mean, it's not easy for Republicans to plot a smooth course ahead.
Well, clearly, we are all on a roller coaster in Washington now. And so Trump does factor into this House race because he is very close to House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy. And timing is a real issue here. I mean, if he were to step in and back Kevin McCarthy for Speaker, that could have consequences. That could push him in the right direction for the votes he needs to win. But it really matters exactly the timing here and when that's done. He is definitely going to be a significant factor in this House race.
Ron Bonjean, thanks very much. Very good to get your expertise, and it is a very exciting time in Washington. Thank you. Just time on GMT to remind you of our top story. The global chemical watchdog, the OPCW, has published its findings on the